I'm RonDaDon, and the song of the day is Fly Away, and we're gonna break it down.
Maybe I'ma fly away. Maybe I'ma fly away. Maybe I'ma fly away. Maybe I'ma fly away someday.
Alright, so I basically use that as the intro to the intro. It's basically used to convey, like, when you're thinking about something. Maybe I'm gonna fly away, you know. I took the sample from Joey Badass's song On and On. And I kind of used it in my song because I felt like it was perfect for the album intro. It was perfect for the tone that I wanted to set for the album. And so that's basically why I use that. And it basically is you in your thoughts thinking maybe I'm gonna fly away. And what flying away represents is letting go of the things that are holding you back, letting go of the things that, you know, just don't let you truly be you and do what you want to achieve, you know. People that hold you back, your inner thoughts that may hold you back, and it's basically cutting those shackles off your ankles and finally flying away. And that's basically what that represents. That's the portrait I'm trying to convey with putting that sample on there. And I felt like, you know, it did its job, served its purpose. It was actually almost too perfect, in my opinion. I'm happy I came to that thought, honestly. It wasn't originally in the beat, but as I was creating the song, I decided, let me put that on there.
Refugee baby, cause the place I come cursed with corruption. Colonization left us fucked, but that ain't the discussion. A single mattress I would share with mama and brother. Thought this was life, I couldn't tell it that we was just struggling.
Alright, so for those of y'all who don't know, I was born in Congo. I moved to Columbus, Ohio when I was 5 years old as a refugee because of the conflict that was going on in Congo and the conflict that's still going on in Congo. And I used the word curse in those lyrics because I feel like Congo is cursed with all the things that we're going through due to the fact that, you know, we're one of the richest countries, rich in natural resources, but at the same time, we have some of the poorest people in the world. It's a lot of issues, a lot of problems, a lot of drama going on between people, between the government. And I feel like those things stem from the effects of colonization. Congo is not a nation that's even been free for, I don't even think 60 years, you know. We were just, I think it was decolonized in 1969. So it's a lot of issues that are still going on in Congo. So I really just feel like it's cursed. And, you know, just due to those reasons, I moved to this country when I was 5 years old, me, my mom, my brother. And, you know, we slept on the same bed for the first couple years we lived in this country. And I thought that was normal. I didn't know that, you know, usually parents and their children don't all sleep on the same bed at the time. As crazy as that is to think, that's what I knew at the time. And because that's what I knew, I wasn't really able to fathom a different type of life. I didn't think there was anything wrong with that. Obviously, my mom got her own bed a couple years later because she ain't trying to share the bed with, you know, two smelly ass little niggas. Like, we were like 4 or 5 years old when we first came. So I don't think nobody wants to share a bed with a 4 and a 5-year-old.
A better life worth the sacrifice, so my dudes was hustling. I used to handle business, wake up mic and hit the buses. A perfect child, what I seem to be, but really I'm frontin'. Cause deep inside I realized I wanted to be wanted.
So when I was a kid, my mom would work a lot. Not just when I was a kid, but like up to my late teenage years. My mom would work sometimes 2 jobs, sometimes 3 jobs, sometimes 70 hours a week, sometimes more than that. Just to do what she has to do to provide and to make sure we could live comfortably. My mom would work a lot. She would just put all her energy into working. So even as a little kid, you know, sometimes even at 7, 8 years old, I'd have to wake up my brother and I'd help us get ready for school and make sure we get on the bus on time and get into our daily routine, because sometimes she wasn't always able to be there. And I know that's not like the most difficult things to do. A lot of people had to do that, but at the same time, it's not the ideal thing you want to do. I feel like most people want to help their kids get ready for school, but when you're in situations where you got to work a lot, sometimes you're just not able to always be there. And so I would take on that burden. And I remember when my mom was telling me that, she told me that under the context of when I was younger, I used to be such a good kid, because, you know, when I got older, I used to start getting in trouble a lot. But when I was younger, I really just wanted people to, think I was a good kid and think I'm doing all the right things, and I just wanted their approval. I wanted them to like me. So at the time, who you're around at the very young age is your mom and your aunties, uncles, family members, and I wanted them to be like, oh, he's a good kid. He does everything he's supposed to do. He's mature. One thing I always hated was being seen as a kid. Even when I was a little kid, I always wanted to be respected as if, as an adult. So I would do things for that, but it didn't come from a place of I want to go to school, I want to do all these things, I want to do but it was just me doing what I'm told to do so I could have their approval.
So I would act accordingly. Switching up locations only made me see how poor we be. Overdraft my lunch balance, I ain't eating shit today. Private institutions, you don't pay that, you don't get a plate.
I didn't know that we wasn't financially well off. I didn't know that I thought we was good. I thought we was cool until I had moved to a private school in 5th grade. It was predominantly white private school, which is complete opposite of where I just came from. I came from predominantly black public school, and everybody that I came from was like me. So when we're talking about food stamps, it's like everybody got food stamps. Or we're talking about things that people have when they live in poverty and stuff like that. It's like everybody has that. So you don't see that as, oh, this is what makes me poor, because you think everybody has that. That's just the world around you. That's all you know. So you don't really think it's anything really more out there until you get into an environment where people don't even know what them type of things are. And in 5th grade, I have changed schools to that school, and them kids had iPhones and MacBooks and all of these gizmos and gadgets. We in 5th grade, 10, 11 years old, and they got all these things. Bro, I'm not even gonna hold you. I didn't even know what an iPhone was until I moved to that school. I didn't even know what a MacBook was. Where I'm from, people that was balling had Blackberries. If you balling, you had a Blackberry. And even if you just had a phone in school, you was cool. Any type of phone, flip phone at that time, you was cool. I had never even knew touchscreen. You do this, and that was a foreign object to me. That was like, wow, these things exist. It had felt like I had entered into a world of Spy Kids. Like, it was way different than what I'm used to. Like, we had a computer at home that was barely working at the time. So going into that environment to this, it was like, wow, this is completely different. And you had to pay for lunch at this school. At my old school, it was a public school. You get free lunch, right? But here you had to pay for lunch, and it was like, I understood that, but at the same time, I used to be a forgetful kid. So if I forget my food at home, I'd have to go to school and buy lunch, but eventually I overdraft my balance. And I'm not gonna hold you, they had good food. So sometimes, even if I did have my lunch, I'm still gonna try to get more, because it's like, all this food is right here, and it's really good school food. My other school food wasn't good. That shit was mid at best. But here, it's like they cooking the food in the back before they give it to you. So it's like they're really preparing that shit good for y'all. And eventually they'd be like, nah, you can't have this because you have a balance. And it was like, damn.
And everybody telling them soon I'm finna be. Since I came from poverty, they tell me that's all I'ma be. Shorty's pick and choosing, but they ain't really rock with me. I'm watching them get cuffed and you know your man ain't fly as me.
Alright, so I used to be the kid that used to be at the lunch table, and just not just at the lunch table, just in life. I had always had big goals, and I always wanted to achieve things that most people couldn't achieve. A lot of people don't even think they can achieve and don't even try to achieve them. But I was never like that. I always had a lot of confidence in myself, and I always believed I could be anything that I ever wanted to be. And when you're saying those things and you speak those things out loud, it's a lot of people who try to dim your light. It's a lot of people that are saying, no, you can't do that, and they try to put a limit on you. And I had never ever put a limit on myself. I ain't even put limits on other people. So I believe anybody could be whatever they put their mind to if they really put the work in for it. And a lot of people would tell me, oh, no, you can't do that. No, you can't do that. And I still never believed them, but that's just the things that was going on. Those are the things that they're putting in my head, and consciously you don't believe it, but things seep into your subconscious without your control, and those things create insecurities, and those things cause low self-esteem. And so I feel like it kind of did have an effect on me, but it wasn't a forward effect. And it was nothing that I let affect the way I moved and the way I acted. Yeah. And at the same time, you know, when you come from a place that's not, you know, when you're not from success, people will think that, you know, where you're from is all you can be. Because even as kids, you know, for them, all they know is what they came from. And maybe for them, they feel like they couldn't be more than what they came from, but they came from shit that was pretty nice. So I remember times it was motherfuckers that make fun of me talking about, what do you mean you live in an apartment? And it's just like, damn. They was living in nice ass houses. If you're from Columbus, you know what I mean? They was living in Powell, Westerville, all these types of places. So, you know, that was hating on a nigga. Hating on him. Had to get some pay eventually, you know, but hating on a nigga. And then at the same time, you know, this is, you know, kind of like when I was in, you know, when you were in middle school, you had these little crushes and shit, right? So I had crushes on girls, and sometimes the girl would get a boyfriend, and you're thinking like, damn, why him? Why not me? What make him better than me? This nigga, like, you thinking like, nah, he's not better than me. I'm him. Who do you think you are? I am. But it's just like, damn, that really make you think. You know, that just really make you think, like, maybe it's me. Maybe it's me.
Maybe it's something wrong with me. Maybe it's the life I can make for people to honor me. So I hit the field and I swear I had gave it all of me, and all I ever got was some minutes of playing varsity.
So if you know me for a long time, even if you know me for the past like 5 years, you know I played football for a long time. I started playing football, as I said, I started playing football when I was in 5th grade, 6th grade. But I wanted to be in the league just like every other little kid that played football. We all want to make the NFL. And so I put in all my time, all my effort, all my energy. I was waking up in middle school, summers after 6th grade, 7 a.m. in the summertime just to get some work in outside. And I probably didn't even do everything right. I probably didn't do, but I just had to put in the work to be what I wanted to do. But at the same time, in playing football, I also wanted people to see that I'm a good football player and let me know. I kind of wanted the approval from my peers that, oh, he is a good football player. I wanted that work to pay off in more ways than just me going to the league. I want people to just, you know, kind of feed my ego into that. And I played football a lot. I practiced a lot, but at the same time, the goal I had to be, for football, it never panned out. I say I only played minutes of varsity because when we had our banquet, that's what our coach said. He played some good minutes. I didn't get as much playing time as I wanted to. I only got to play 5 games that season in the first place. And even through those games, I was battling a lot of things, injuries and stuff like that. So, you know, it just never panned out. And even despite the fact that I wanted the approval from the people around me that this was something that I was good at and something that was my calling.
Moment of silence for the family deceased, to numb the pain, roll the strain and inspire the heat. But coming down, make you see that you can't cover the sheets. You gotta carry all your crosses till you finally free.
Alright, so I go into that by saying moment of silence for the family deceased to set the tone for how I'm ending the song. And after I said that, basically, I say numb the pain, roll the strain. You know, it's just a way of showing people how people have vices that they deal with to get over the things they're going through and get over their demons and battle with their past and things like that. When you go into those vices, you kind of do that as an escape. You don't do that to face it. And so when I say coming down, make you see you can't cover the sheets, is basically me trying to say that when you're coming down from those highs or when you're sobering up, you get back to your reality, you get back to those issues, you get back to those problems, you really have to face them again. So that whatever you did to try to get away from them is only momentarily, but you can't always have that. That's not always going to be there. And so carrying your crosses, I got that, you know, if you know the Bible, you see that Jesus had to carry the cross, and the cross represented the burdens of all the people that, of everyone, you know, he was dying for everyone's sins, and that's what the cross represented. It represented those burdens. And so I flip it to say, you got to carry your crosses, you got to deal with your burdens, you got to battle your past, and, you know, just do the things, go through the things that held you back, and so you could finally be free.
I'm waging war with all my demons and I'm facing the trauma, cause when you trying to heal inside, you gotta study the drama, rehabilitate the hurt, cause these curses was generational. Rehearse the many verses to nurse you with inspirationals.
So I say that to say I'm gonna carry my crosses, I'm gonna battle my demons, I'm gonna go through the things that I'm going through, and I'm really gonna face these things. I'm really gonna, unpack the trauma that I've went through, unpack everything that held me back, break those shackles off of my ankles, and just deal with all my issues and finally be who I want to be, get to where I want to go. Because if you really want to live within yourself, live through yourself and the way you want to, and live for your purpose, you kind of, you have to face those things. You can't run away from your issues. You can't run away from your problems. And that's me saying I'm going to do that. And in my family, it's a lot of people that have things that they've gone through that they haven't really faced. A lot of things they're holding back. And it's not just my family. It's, everybody's families. It's a lot of people. Probably most of the world hasn't really faced all their issues that they're going through. And that's kind of why a lot of people are going through what they're going through still. And I'm just saying that I'm going to be the one to break that curse in my family. I'm going to be the one that goes through that. And so in future generations that they don't have to really go through those same type of things, or when they do go through those things, they know how to get through it. And that's kind of what I'm trying to say, that it's not just my family, but it's everybody. It's everyone that listens to this album, and everyone that relates to these feelings and emotions, everyone that's ever gone through something. This is going to help you get through that. So this is like the music that I'm trying to put and how I'm trying to convey the album. So Fly Away just represents getting away from those things. And once you get away from those things, you can be able to achieve your dreams, achieve your goals. And yeah, fly.